It was really funny. But you reminded me of Boys and Girls Club. I went there. I think I might have
Ugh.
been 5 or 6, and
Oof.
this was horrible. This was a horrible place. I don't know if it was the faculty or maybe the kids were just horrible. I had this kid who would look at me every day and say, "I'm gonna kill you." I
Jeez.
was like 5 or 6. You imagine how scared I was?
Yikes.
And I don't know why I kept going, but I do remember the straw that broke the camel's back, i.e., my mom saying, "Oh, that does it."
Yeah.
We went to the pool. I don't somewhere around here.
Oh,
Um,
you told me about this. I
did
remember
I?
this. Yeah. Oh, bad story about your toesies.
Yeah, my
Ugh.
all 10 of my
Nasty.
toes were bleeding, and you know what they did? Instead of putting bandages on them,
What?
they put ice packs in my shoes.
Ooh.
Like that's supposed to stop the bleeding.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. I'm CPR and first aid certified for my job. That's a requirement for my job.
What?
That should have been a requirement
What
for
bandages?
that. Well, I'm just saying, like, well, bandages are a small part of that. But I'm saying,
Hang
like,
on. What are you saying? Like the ice packs were a good idea because they didn't stop the
no,
bleeding.
no. They were a terrible idea. And I was thinking to work with kids. Well, I mean, really to do any job, you had to be CPR and FBI, first aid and AED. Well, maybe not AED back then, but you gotta be certified in first aid. You gotta know what to do.
Right.
Either these were just fresh off the boat losers, or they just didn't give two shits.
Yeah. Well, I'm more inclined to believe the latter, but it's just
Yeah.
me. But that's the straw that broke the camel's back, and my mom heard about that. I knew that look on her face. It was like, "Don't fuck with my sweetheart" look on her face.
Uh huh.
And yeah, that was quite a
Yeah.
time.
When I left the Boys and Girls Club, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like my parents like, oh, you can't go here anymore. It was like, basically I went there from third grade to sixth grade, and then after that I was like, you know what, Mom, I'm old enough now that I can walk home from school. And yeah, she was like, okay, that's true. You can walk home, and that's what I did until I graduated high school.
See, you're lucky. I was never at a good enough distance to walk home. I always needed transportation because I was too far. But what was funny was it wasn't until sophomore year of high school, because this is the thing. During my high school years, I lived in a trailer park that was on an uphill slope.
Oof.
Don't worry, I wasn't that high. I was only like 2 spaces up. And the thing was is that the bus would be right there waiting, like at the right where the uphill slope started. And the thing was is that I always was in the car, and I told my mom, it's not that big of a deal. I think I was 16 at the time. Uh, I can just go down there by myself with my backpack and everything. God forbid somebody tries to come near me, I'll hit him with my backpack. My books are heavy enough; it'll knock him out. And um, she said, "All right, that's cool." And so I would just go down there and wait for the bus stop. But it got to the point where she had to watch me leave because, and this is me being like, I hate the heat. You know this.
Yes.
You know how quote unquote freezing it was in here.
Hell
Um,
yes.
Mom knew that I liked cold weather, and so oftentimes I would try to go to school in the middle of November in shorts.
Oh jeez.
I know, right? And she was like you. She did.
Masochist.
She she was like you. She didn't want me to do that because she would worry I would get sick or something. And it got to the point where she would have to watch me leave to make sure I didn't try nothing funny. And but yeah, it was real funny. Okay, I do have an interesting question.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever started, but when did you stop believing in Santa Claus?
Let's see. Okay, believing in Santa Claus and that whole myth, I was probably about 15.
Yeah.
But when I was 11, I thought, okay, well, Santa Claus, a guy going around the entire Earth in one night, is bullshit. But I thought maybe
You were
the
you
spirit.
were 11 and you thought that's bullshit.
That's bullshit. But yes, I was 15 when I stopped believing the whole thing altogether. But at 11, I was like, well, obviously the story of Santa Claus is crap, but I mean, Saint Nicholas was a real person. Maybe his ghost, his spirit, is what brings us the presents.
Oh. See, I dead believed it until I was, I think, 9. And then Mom had to sit me down and be like, all right, look, you're getting a little older now. I think there's something you should know. And it was nearing Christmas, so it wasn't any better.
Jeez.
And
okay,
because the thing was is that Christmas, I don't know why, I asked for a drum set.
What?
I don't know why, and I lost it like maybe 3 months later. But yeah, she sat me down and told me that Santa Claus, the person who goes across the whole world in one night, that doesn't happen. It's quite literally impossible.
Yeah. Oh, okay, funny Christmas story.
Okay.
This happened either last year or 2 years ago.
Okay.
Now, because I have stepbrothers who, well, at the time were all in elementary school, I still had to, pretend I believed in Santa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was fine. I didn't mind doing it because, they're my brothers and I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But that night, like Christmas Eve night, I was with that side of my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom she didn't make me, but she offered to have me eat the cookies, and then so I did, and they were delicious, by the way. And but then I thought, I'll do a little extra for them. So then I wrote them a letter saying, "Dear Gavin, Carter, and Mason, thank you so much for the cookies. You've been such good boys this year. Keep up the good work. Your friend Santa Claus."
That's adorable.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something that, and this was when I was, I think, 19, so this was like 10 years after I was told the truth. My baby nephew Adrian, who I believe was 4 or 5 at the time. Of course, we wanted him, to, have the fun of believing the myth of Santa Claus. So,
right.
Much like you, I played up the lie. And much like your mom, my mom had me do something funny and cute for my nephew, which was, it wasn't eating cookies or leaving a note. She wanted me, because I was really good at impressions, and I still am. She wanted me to call his, because, my nephew doesn't stay with Adrian doesn't stay with my sister anymore. She's with the dad's mom's now. Mom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom wanted me to call her house and talk to Adrian, and as one of the elves, right? And I'd be like, he's like, "Oh, is this Adrian? I see your name on the nice list," and
Aww.
and then I remember him saying, like, "Is Santa there?" I was like, "Yeah, he's right here checking his naughty and nice list." And then Mom wanted me to be Santa, so I was like, "Ho ho ho."
Aww.
I couldn't see him, but I can imagine the smile on his face.
Aww.
And this was when I was, I think, I may have been 5, 6 at this time. I remember one Christmas. I'm sure, I don't know how I didn't notice, but it was Christmas Eve, and I woke up in the middle of the night having to throw up. And the bathroom was just adjacent to the living room. And if I looked right, I could very easily see the Christmas tree and somebody putting presents there. Because somebody was in there in the middle of doing that. I'm pretty sure it was my dad. But I went to the bathroom, started throwing up. I could have sworn I heard someone go, "Oh, shit."
Oh, shit.
And then, Dad came to me and said, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I just got a little sick." And then I went back to bed. Like, I can imagine you like, "Thank God he didn't catch me."
Yeah.
That was real funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, fun fact for you. I didn't even the iconic Chipmunk Christmas song, right?
Yeah, Christmas time.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed until the first movie came out.
Really?
Really, because here's the thing. As much as I love the Chipmunks, until I saw those movies, the only Chipmunk-related media I ever saw was Frankenstein and Wolfman. Because I thought those were
you got a point there. I can see how that would be a surprise to you.
Because I thought those were the only Chipmunk media that existed.
Yeah, good point.